Good morning. Good morning. Oh, damn it. Oh, yeah. Forgot that I have a dish for these now. Yay. Hey, RQ. Good morning. Afternoon? No, yes, afternoon now for you, correct? Good afternoon, RQ. Tony, what's going on, brother? Good morning. Joseph. Joe, because I keep seeing, I just want to make sure I understand it. I want to pronounce this correctly. Your last name is pronounced Sikirka. Did I pronounce that correctly or did I butcher it? And I apologize if I butchered it. Yes, I love it. I've known Joe now. Joe, how long? It's got to be at least 6 years, maybe 7 years. Joe's got to be one of Gundam Curators, one of the guys who's been following the longest. We've had multiple conversations, and when you know somebody, for as long as we have an online relationship, right? But we've also had personal conversations as well. If you know somebody long enough, you want to at least be able to pronounce their name correctly, right? Hi, Joe. Good morning. Yeah, right. So today we are going to test the theory. I'm going to move over to another model. And I guess what I'm going to try to do is I'm kind of at a point right now where it's like I need a break from this T-34. I'm going to pull out. Yeah, we're going to go with this. Before I decide to do that. Okay. Hey, Nick, good morning. Talk about a break, taking today off from work. Nice. Good for you, Joe. Ooh. So I will still stick with a tank right now. Though, yeah, I want to actually talk about both of these tanks real quickly. And just so you guys know, anybody who follows me and sees old school Gunpla, it's like, this guy only builds armor. It's not a Toon Tank. I probably should pull out the Toon Tank. It's in a box right now. I'd have to pull out a new model. Ooh, let's see what else we got. Morning, Nick. Toon Tank, new model, Joe. All right. So the reason why I want to do this is almost like a bit of a test. Look, I'm not gonna, I guess I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The T-3485 has not been an enjoyable model. It's been okay. It's just not been hyper enjoyable. I also think that I've made a lot of mistakes along the way because I kept on thinking, well, this thing will all come together somehow. And then I'm looking at how certain parts have come together and it's been poor. Could I have done something better with just, okay, you just have to take more time and patience to get things dialed in? Or is it that the model really is just like they overcomplicate it? And I guess this is more of a testing of a theory of, I would call it the Tamiya principle. I'm not going to build a Toon Tank. Though I could pull out the Meng Toon Tank because I think I've got one floating around here somewhere. It's in a box in the storage area. I'd have to dig it up. But it's a theory to test, am I missing something, right? So part of me feels like, let's do something like this. Okay. And let's see what the differences are between this Meng tank and just about everything else. Oh, in the cave. We could go in the cave. I'm not going to go in the cave today for a couple reasons. First of all, I did something with my wrist. I woke up and my wrist is like killing me. I just crawling into that area, I don't want to risk because I got to kind of muscle my way in. I don't want to work on this. A modern tank, yes. Though being a modern tank isn't the thing. It's more a matter of that. So my experience having now built 2 tanks from Meng has been, these are brilliant models. So much so that I am actually actively collecting them. And I don't generally do that. I don't collect a series except for, and I'll throw this out. I actively collect 4 things. I actively collect any older models that strike my fancy. And what I mean by that is a lot of anime properties from the 80s. In particular, if there's any Dunbine models that I'm missing, Votoms models like and again, we're talking about the Takara stuff, the old 1980s stuff. The big one is Orgus. Southern Cross, I'm missing 1 model from that collection. So any of that stuff is part of, like, I will add. Another one is, and I'm gonna hope to pick this up when I go to Japan in 4 years, God willing. I want to pick up the a couple things from Lupin III, Cagliostro Castle, because Cagliostro Castle is one of my favorite anime films. So that's the one. The second is the Meng 1/72nd scale things. The third is the Gundam Origin models. I love Gundam Origin. I love it as a series, and I think their models have been just peaches to build. So absolutely recommend that. And then the last one is, and I know it comes back to the 80s thing, any MSV kits that I don't already have. So the original 1980s Gundam MSVs. Maybe I'll gift you a tiny scope dog. Maybe. Is it from Takara? No, spelunking with a bad wrist might not be able to climb. Exactly. That's my fear. I don't want to, trust me. I will be doing a trip in there, and we might even do it this weekend. If people want to try to remind me, say, hey, didn't you say you're going to be going spelunking? And if Bruce is fine, and I'm hoping this is just going to be like a 1-day thing, then we'll get back into it. But anyway, so here's a couple things. So this Meng tank, I just want to kind of walk through a little bit. And this is maybe more of a, okay, what the hell's going on here, right? So if we pull, and I think we showed this a couple days ago. Manual. From a company that I think has what I call like an excellent balance between, it's pretty damn old. I like pretty damn old. Now, I will gladly take it off your hands if you want to get rid of it. Understand that it'll probably go into the backlog. But I love that. Is that more of an anti-air? The Bradley anti-personnel. This is a person. What do they call these things? Armored personnel carrier, or an APC. So it doesn't have like a full, 20 millimeter cannon or anything like that, 105 or whatever it is. It's basically a personnel carrier. Oh no, it'll go in your backlog instead of mine. Ray, you can always do a tit for tat. I might bring a bunch of stuff from the Kirk collection to PatCon, by the way. So if anybody wants anything, I'll see if I can find some of the better stuff. I've actually squirreled away some of the better stuff just to kind of like, because I did want to get like a couple of Tamiya 1/72nd scale planes and stuff like that to people that I know. I know I should be helping out the club, and I get that, but I've given out the club. I shouldn't say I. The club has given out the club a lot, and I still got fuck ton of boxes left. So I know if anybody's listening from Patriot, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm going to help out. Anyway, so looking at this model, we've got, whoops, parts falling off, but we kind of gone through this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 runners, right? And if you take a look at the parts, a lot of good detailed stuff on there. If you take a look at the hull, a lot of good detail on the hull. So the detail on the kit is absolutely fantastic. And I've talked about the comparison with a couple of Leopard A2s. The let me see, because I've got a Leopard A2 from, I think it's from Border Mang, and Vespid, if I'm correct. And the Vespid one is the one that's probably the most detailed. It's actually surprisingly detailed. But the funny part about it is it's an awful model to build. It's just like the detail on it is insane. So this is the Tiger One early type. Yes, it's a Nazi tank. I'm sorry. It's a German tank. But it's the early type. And this has substantially more parts, right? But the detail on it, like if you take a look at the hull detail, it's pretty damn good. Actually, really, really good. It's anybody having a vendor table and giving stuff away, but you don't like the idea of a free table. Oh, I don't care. If you want to buy a table and you want to give stuff away, that's up to you, Ray. I don't care what you, as long as you're not selling, things that are illicit. I don't care. If you take a look at, you got 2 runners for tracks. And I believe, if memory serves, this model gives you the option to either do individual or group tracks. Let me take a look. I can't recall if that was, oops. Yeah, no, that's the Bradley. No, in fact, you actually do have to build it. So if you take a look, you have to build all of the tracks that kind of go around. Whereas the Meng tank, they're actually just already preformed. So a lot more involvement. They're giving you a lot more parts so you can have more stuff to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a really cool model. It does include turn metal barrel and muzzles as well. It's pretty cool. All right, let's see. That's very detailed. It's maybe too early to say, but I already want to see it built. Which one are we talking about? The Meng or the Tiger, or both? Frankly, I want to see them both built. So I want no coffee. Oh God, what's wrong? What? That's not what you said 2 months ago. Did I say that? Ray, I apologize. I may be missing the context here. If somebody wants to buy a table and they want to kind of give stuff away, I don't have a problem with that. I guess maybe, I don't know what I said back then. I don't recall. Bring the Tiger to the competition. I don't know if I spell correctly. Tiger is an animal. Good. And that is something I could do. It's for our annual build. Ray is willing to pay money to give his stuff away. I'm fine with that. This is why it's like I don't recall the conversation, Ray. Maybe I'm missing something. But you want to buy a table and give stuff away? That's on you. You want to sell some stuff? That's fine too. So detail. But you got a lot more detail going on this thing. You got a lot more parts. But they also do some things that are pretty sane. Like the wheels themselves, they're actually, you're not building individual wheels. You can build them as a set. And the nice thing about that is now you can take them off very easily when you want to. You can take them off very easily when they're ready to paint them, and then put them back on as a set afterward. All right, I send you a self-addressed box. There you go. So the Tiger is a possibility too. In fact, I've got a Panther somewhere. I'd love to do like a pink Panther. That would be a fun one to do. Okay. So I wanted to kind of give that one as an example, but I think I'm going to probably end up doing. And have I built a border? No, I don't think I've built a border model yet, but I know people who have worked on border models. They're very, very good as well. I don't have enough experience with them to kind of say yay or nay. This, on the other hand, I do. Do they use tools with the model, or do you have to buy them? Do they give you tools with the model? Are you talking about what they call these entrenching tools like that? So on the Abrams, I'm sorry, the Bradley, they have it molded in. On the, let's see. If you're asking about the Tiger, generally they include, from what I've seen in the past, they will include, yes, they include tools. So you can see the axe right there. Another couple, an axe, 2 axes. They probably have, what do they call it, like a cleaning rod or something like that. I mean, tools to build the models. Oh no, they do not include tools to build the models. No, those are on you. Well, if it's needed. Yeah, no, any tools, like they actually even say it on the box if I'm correct. Yeah, cement and paint not included. Model may vary from image on box. Well, yeah. Modeling skill supple if under 14 years of age, ready to assemble. Precision model kit. They basically say that you need paint, but they don't say that you need tools. That is kind of interesting. You'd think that they would protect their asses with that too, but I guess not. In any case. All right. So let us put the Tiger away for now. And I think we are going to start a little bit on this Bradley just to see what we get out of it. And my hope is that what we're going to find is that the fitment on this model, the way it builds up is pretty good. Okay, so RQ, they actually do list, at least in the Meng model, Meng manual, what tools you're going to need, the recommended tools: nippers, knife, tweezers, and glue. Obviously, to that I would add, you're probably going to need, sanding implements, filing implements, and that kind of thing. Oh, yeah. Due to stop. That's a good question, Nick. In all, I've probably got about 5 tanks started. I've got a 1/35th, and it is a Meng, but it's a 1/35th scale. The French AMX B2 3. What is it called? No, the AMX 30 B2. There we go. That I've got started. I've got a 1/48 scale Hobby Boss KV2 Russian tank. The Vespid KF51. Now this guy here, this Flyhawk. I think that's it. I might be wrong. And I've assembled, and not fully completed, the Meng Merkava. But that's, at this point, anything further would require it to go into paint phase. Okay. So, like in typical fashion, they always suggest you start with painting. Wheels, at which you will paint before you continue with the assembly, which is kind of nice. I will also say I think that Meng in general does a better job with their manuals, and because they're actually showing you not parts put into place, but where they're going into place, how they go into place. It's very much more like how Bandai does things. And, for lack of a better way of explaining it, Bandai really is the gold standard. I mean, Bandai and Tamiya, right? Tamiya for traditional modeling and Bandai for non-traditional stuff. Good morning, Joy, everyone. I just wanted to pop in. This busy at hell this morning. Richie, good morning. Hopefully your day goes quickly, and best of luck, brother. And hopefully we'll catch you soon. Always good to see Richie pop in and say hi. What we're going to start with is the hull. I'm going to leave the wheels aside for now. I'm going to go right to the hull. And I'm here for it. Ray, do you want vacuum formed model planes, and how many? I will gladly give you many. I can't get rid of those things fast enough. I know that Chris Bernique has asked for it. What's a box of vacuum formed planes? I think, I mean, given Nick's right now kind of in that lull, I'm not sure that giving him a vacuum, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, Nick, if I give you a vacuum form kit, you'd be totally into it. Currently, you have 2 boxes, and I'm going to send one to Nick, apparently. I guess so. Rather a flyable model plane or a very, very detailed tank model? Ooh. If you're asking me, RQ, flyable as in a plane that's like a radio controlled plane, is that what you're asking? If you're talking about RC, and I know I'm going to piss off Ray, and I'm sorry, but I have no interest in RC, not personally speaking. But if you're talking about a plane, I build planes and I like planes. In fact, I completed a plane earlier this year, and I'm really happy with it. But I just like building models. I mean, honestly, I've become sort of agnostic. Do I have preferences to certain things? Yeah, but in general, I'm enjoying armor. I'm enjoying planes. Each one builds differently, which is what I like about it. It's like if you get bored with building one, like I've started snapping together a lot of Gundam, newer Gundam models, and even then, it's just like after a while, it's like I got to stop because this is just getting boring. Move on to something else. But most of any plane that I work on, any plane that I build, is always in some kind of a flight mode. I built, I think, 3 planes now. The Bat plane, the Roten Cometon, and the ME-262 cockpit style. I've just been doing 5-10 rivets every now and then on the Falca. I've been at the bench, but building a rifle, like an actual rifle? Really? Like a 1-to-1 rifle? What kind? I'm kind of curious now. Okay. Ow. Ah, fuck. That hurt. All right. A10. You should do the Harpy. Do what to the Harpy? Finish it? Well, it's still here. Joe, are you taking over for Tom now? Yeah. Oof. Yeah. And see, and it's not a show unless I'm sanding or filing, right, Nick? It looked really good. It is. I am planning on returning that at some point, Joe. I don't know when. I do need to start tackling projects that are under the bench that are started, including the Harpy. And look, I know I get distracted a lot. Look, I'm no different than just about any other modeler out there. It's like, ooh, what's new and flashy now? So I will be returning to the Harpy. I may actually end up simplifying some of the stuff that I was doing to it. I haven't decided yet. Like I may not do all of the rocket stuff on it, Though at the same time, I know that since I started that project, my skills have improved dramatically. So I could probably end up doing a lot more detailed work on the missile launcher that pops up. So I'd like to do that sort of what I call as a co-build. I'd like to do that in the modern Harpy, the one that Hasegawa released a few years back. An actual rifle is built off of a Remington 700 short action in .308 caliber, mounting the scope tonight, and it will be done. Nice. So, Nick, is this more of a you're just kind of putting together a hunting rifle? Is that correct? Yeah, hunting season. Yeah, it's coming back quick. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, so for a guy who's a Massachusetts lefty, you know. Do I believe that do I believe in what Nick is doing? 100%. I appreciate what Nick does. When Nick goes out hunting, and a lot of the meat, when he hunts an animal, it is for food. And I appreciate that. And I think that is something that, if you treat an animal with respect, killing an animal is probably not respectful. But if you're going to be at least treating the animal with some level of respect, you know what? Hunting is fine. Our gun laws still need to be managed. Just saying. But at least I respect that. All right. I really do appreciate the work. The way that Meng is doing their manuals, a lot more so than Flyhawk. I have a 25-pound, 22 caliber level break air rifle. Use it to get rid of small pests. Get away, you varmint. Hey, good morning, Dwayne. What's going on, my friend? I also appreciate that Meng does a much, much better job of hiding their injection pin marks, because their injection pin marks are right here on the face here. But all of that is going to get hidden by the top of the hull when it gets placed. Again, I think their engineering is substantially better. Just woke up. I hear you, Dwayne. Dwayne, have you been in contact with Mason recently about a space? And I know that you and I haven't had a chance to connect, and I'd like to get that at some point. Do you like old 1900s model tanks or modern model tanks? I prefer. That's a good question. I prefer modern tanks, because to me they look so sci-fi, and I'm sort of sci-fi driven. But I also like two things. One, I like a well-made model, so it's easy, so it's fun to build. So I'll build whatever at that point. And then the other thing is, I like a model that when I look at it as, okay, if I were to put this, like, how do I envision it outside of just the model in terms of a diorama? So if I build like a 1900s, or let's say like a World War I tank, and I've got a couple of those French, like the FT-17, like something like that, I would put into some kind of a fun little diorama, not a war-like situation, but I'd find some fun diorama to do it. So it's part of a story. Oh, 1900s. Yes, I have. Excellent. We'll talk about that in a second. And Dwayne, yeah, we should probably connect at some point too. Love to see companies hide nub marks in design. Absolutely. I'm not a big fan of undergating. I've bitched about them for years, but I do like the fact that they think about where their injection pin marks are, and they will hide them. Hey, Dwayne, did you get that Polish future tank? I do have the PLO one, the one that it's the future that never came, Joe. Yes. the PLO one. And in fact, I've been thinking about what to do with that thing. It is in the backlog. Okay. Give me 1 second here, guys. I just want to get this thing kind of A-lined. Yeah, there we go. This is what I mean by smart thinking. So they have tabs which allow the pieces to come together in a way that, yep, you might see some of that when it's all glued together, but not if you do good cleanup work. And the fit on this thing, the alignment, you can't botch it. Thank you. Of course. So, yeah, Dwayne, I think I'd like to kind of catch up with you. Obviously, don't spend any of your money right now on that place at the Marriott, but we'll see what we can do to kind of get this thing. Oh, yeah, but even like the inside of it, like look at how this thing comes together. This is what I'm getting at, guys. I mean, why I really love it. Like, you can't mess up the alignment. Well, yes, you have to work really hard at it, but you can't mess up the alignment. It's everything kind of clips into place. It can only go one way. Yeah. So guys, what Dwayne and I are talking about is we're looking to hold some kind of an at PatCon to have a pre-party, particularly for not just for people who are coming into town, but also just for everybody, just kind of a place like before the show starts. So maybe we can mingle, get to see each other, that kind of thing. And we have some potentially very exciting news on the pre-party. So I'll have something hopefully to you in the next day or so. I love Meng's fit. Yeah, exactly. We're just doing this. I've kind of stopped working on the Flyhawk because I think it just hasn't been fun. But the fit on this model, this is why I keep saying it's like I love this scale. I love the 1/72nd scale. It's just a manageable scale. It's a lot. I can do a lot more with it in terms of space and showing stuff. But I love their kits. I just can't recommend them enough. You'll be jumping out a giant cake. Ray, can you get 10 more people to come if I do? Red, hello, how are you? So what are you doing today, George? I'm working on a new model. I'm working on a 1/72nd scale tank again, but this one is the Bradley Armored Fighting Vehicle. It's actually not a tank, by Meng. And the reason is I wanted to do a bit of a comparison in how the build quality on this is. And just so you guys know, I buy my models. Meng isn't giving me these things for free. I'm not sponsored by Meng. I'm like everybody else. All I care about is I want to have fun building a model. And Meng's models have always been, in my opinion, have been the most enjoyable armor models I've worked on. Outside of Tamiya. I've enjoyed the Tamiya stuff I've worked on, the 2 Tamiya tanks that I've worked on. At the very least, I'll tell you yes. It's almost tempting to do it. Tank goes, ta-da-ta-da-ta-da. Exactly, RQ. International hit under siege. Right. Yeah, I'm not as pretty as, what was her name? Oh, God. Oh, man. Talk about an actress that kind of came and went. Oh, poor thing. George gets in before we bake the cake. It will be more like the Addams Family. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, again, Is it squarely aligned? I don't know, but it really feels like this thing is like squared up. George is powered by coffee, styrene, and support from viewers like you. That's right. I'd say I'm a PBS station, but unfortunately, given that funding has been cut for all that shit, can't believe the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is going away. That thing's been around almost my entire life. Started just about what? When did that start? Late 60s? Jesus Christ. We're in a fucked world, guys. We're in a fucked world. Don't forget to smash that like button. Yeah. Don't forget to drop dollars too. And I'm kidding. Don't forget, you want me to be a bigger influencer. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say to that. Yeah. Ow. Fuck. Ow. Oh, man. ABS should be a YouTube channel. Well, I think everybody's using that as a way of getting their message across. Probably, Joe. For after you come out of the cake. Or make their own YouTube with blackjack and hookers. Oh, God, no. Please, no, no. Leave PBS be. PBS and NPR. The political enemies of the state. God forbid. I need to get around there and just get that. Even the way the nubs come off of this thing, it's just, they're really, really solid. It's like the nub removal on this is actually really good too. And I know that sounds kind of weird because it doesn't take much to get rid of a nub, but they cut off very easily with very few issues. That's the old Elmo. Oh, God. I wish I could say that you were lying, Ray, but I think the answer is no, you're probably not. Oof. Ugh. Oh, man. Just mounds of love for the way this comes together. Just really, really impressive. In fact, this is so impressive. Meng has released a whole variety of different types of models, including they've got some sports cars. And you guys know me, I am not a car guy at all, but I'd almost be tempted to try out one of their car models. At the same time, they also have released a few Evangelion kits. Now, they are fucking pricey, but really impressive. It's the old MO. Sesame Street has 5 episodes making fun of Trump, so Sesame Street made fun of Trump first. Really? Did they really? Simpsons did it. Here's a garage that was orange called Rump. No, you're kidding me. No. Did they really? Even more love for PBS. Rump. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, Ray is subscribed. Bell. All right. Who brought up LARPing at Nero yesterday? That was Tony, if memory serves. I have the Unit 01. It's huge. The Restraint platform, the Evangelion is 20. Wow. That was me. All right. Now there is going to be a little bit of gap filling that needs to be done here, but that's really, really not a lot. And ultimately, like I said, you never, in my opinion, you don't look at the bottom of a model. Contrary to what some judges used to think at IPMS Nationals, you don't pick up a model and look underneath it. In fact, if it goes on a base, secure it. Don't worry about it. Man, I love this thing so far. Yeah, you got the Unit 01. Man, I'd love to see that thing built up. Dwayne, have you built that thing up? It was me. I did that back in the day. Nice. We got more LARPers. Indiana episode that had a magazine on the coffee table saying Trump was president back in 93. Oh God. So Demolition Man got it all wrong, right? They thought it was going to be President Schwarzenegger. I wish we had President Schwarzenegger. It's funny how we laughed at that back at 93. The most feared NPC this side of the Mississippi. I'll send you a pic, George. Oh, yeah. But Dwayne, just a quick question. How you built it? And if you did, how was it? You don't know how to use the 3 seashells. You don't know it. I love that movie. The social commentary on that movie is absolutely like perfect. It was a great build. Yeah. See, I'm telling you, this is what I'm getting. So when I think about, the question that came up, it's like, what do I like to build? I like to build stuff that's fun. And if it's a fun model, I'm going to build it. I don't give a shit if it's a Bandai model. There are Bandai models that I build. It's like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm just not. The Silver Bullet suppressor, which I did a while ago, it's like, this was not fun at all. It just fiddly, didn't care for it. Any of the spindly high-heeled stuff, particularly in larger grades, it's like, this thing can't even stand on its own. Sorry. If a Gundam can't stand up on its own, go away. If we are any timeline, it's definitely the sitcom timeline, just waiting for the audience soundtrack to happen. Oh, God. Are we going to get one of those, Joe? All right. So they're saying now you put those parts on first. Well, I think I'm going to put on B7 first. Oh, fucking rest, man. Just and again, guys, I apologize. So I mentioned this earlier. I woke up this morning and feels like I did something to my wrist. I don't know if I slept poorly on it or what, but it is it just flinches and there's a little bit of excruciating pain this morning, which is not fun. Sharp pain, maybe not excruciating, just sharp. Hey, Edwin. Good evening, my friend. How are you? Huge nubs in places. It is the OG, so it doesn't do great standing up. But the 1.5 fixed it. Really. They made a 1.5 model. Ooh. A person that loves war machines but doesn't like wars. RQ, I'm 100% in your favor, in agreement with you. I look at these things less as tools of war and as sculptures that I can do something fun with. I'm going to use an example. I know he hasn't been on in a while, but one of my colleagues over at Patriot, Austin. I love Austin. Austin's a great guy. He built a pink tank, which got him into trouble because God forbid you build a tank that's pink. Please justify the use of this color. Here's the justification. But he's done like rainbow colored stuff. And ultimately he builds it because he just wants to test out techniques, and he builds stuff for his kids. And it's like, that's brilliant. That's the way you should be doing modeling. You're doing it because it brings you a level of joy to you. You know, if you want to build accurately and war machine stuff, awesome. If you don't, awesome. Yeah, I personally am in that same exact camp. Oh wow! See, once again, I'm just okay. So these parts coming together, okay? Thinking that this is exactly the same issue I had when you're trying to build a box, right? It's how do you get everything to fit well? It's you have to have good alignment pins, which is what they're doing here. You cannot mess this thing up. So the alignment at the bottom, it is tight. You have minimal gapping on the sides, which are going to be filled in once you put the covers over the wheels. Already, we're just like, what, 4 parts into this thing? This is already, in my opinion, a superior, fun, easy to build. And maybe that's just it. It's easy to build, which I like building models, you know, as much as I like customization stuff. I like building models that are easy and then let me do the stuff I want to do on top of them to add the details. 1.5 is unpainted. Do you have a brace for your wrist? I think I do upstairs. I may bring it with me today at work. Hello, Edwin. They have a robot boxing now. They have robot boxing now. My new favorite sport. Nice. Hear about how the next Gundam show will be more directed to nowadays events. Ukraine and Palestine. Yeah. So they're doing another show? Aren't they in the middle of doing one right now? By the way, I'm not watching GQuacks or GQX or whatever the hell they call it. Just haven't really been all that interested. A pink tank sounds kind of cool. By the way, and fun to be honest. And he did, I'm going to tell you, and he weathered it. It looks awesome. I will see if I can get a picture of it, and I will show it. In fact, I will do a little shout out. So if you guys go to ipmspatriot.org, that's our IPMS chapter, and you look at, I think it's all of our newsletters are posted there. It's in the last 3 or 4. It's in there. You can take a look at some of the work that our members are doing. But Austin's pink tank is there, and in fact, Pip, one of our traditional members, put it on the cover, and even he was like, "What do you mean they dinged him for that?" It was kind of stupid. A pink tank. I would love to at least have a tank without a cannon. It can protect me like a moving bunker. And you can do that. It's your model. Build it that way. Absolutely. Build it that way. The series was not bad, to be honest. The last 2 episodes were the best. Yeah. I have to tell you, I'm, I don't know. I enjoyed Witch from Mercury. It was good. I really wish that they would finish or do something further with Thunderbolt. I'm a couple of mangas away from finishing off the series, which was I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I think they did a fabulous job with that series. But I really wish that they would continue on with the yeah, got a little bit of gap filling, which is fine. Gap filling is a little bit different than trying to get alignment. Right now, these things are aligned. And yes, you could actually see, let's see if I can turn this thing. You can actually see it right there. Sorry, guys, right there. You can see right in that corner there. There's a gap. Okay, great. Part of that's going to be covered by the wheel covers that I'm going to be putting on. And then the rest of it, I'll gap fill. Hey, when people tell you you did something wrong when part of the process of modeling is making it your own. But here's the thing, Tony. I agree with you 100% because I look at this as an artistic endeavor. However, traditional modelers continue to come from the are you building it accurately? And that's the concern. In fact, one of the right after, like a month or so after that show, I wrote as a letter from the president specifically about that. It's like, this is BS. But national rules are vague. They talk about accuracy, but they also say accuracy is hard. And they don't do a good job of anyway, they say we need accuracy. We don't know how to get there. So then you ding people for accuracy as opposed to, oh, you got it very accurate. Fine. You get a couple of extra points. But don't ding somebody for why did you use that color? Piss off. Why should I go to RQ? They have a tank that was made into a battering ram with an, yeah, I can already see it's a tank when looking at the model. Yeah, sure got them. Yeah, I forgot about that. I haven't seen that movie since it came out in '87. National rules are a whole thing, which is fine. And again, this is what's good about national rules. We can derive our rules from national rules, but we don't have to follow them. As an example, Wings and Wheels, ValleyCon, they're open judging. So they're not following, typical IPMS patterns. If modeling was supposed to be accurate depiction of something, then they would call all come pre-built and pre-painted. Maybe. Yeah. Or in fact, you'd be dinging every Gundam model because most people who do Gundams don't build them accurately. I don't see that looking like what it looked like in the anime. That's a Char Zaku. Why is it blue? Or why did you decide to do what is it? Tom, one of the guys who does a fabulous painting job, and he always does things in Formula One colors. Sorry, explain to me why you chose those colors. Those aren't accurate. I would never say that to a modeler, ever. That ain't no Zaku boy. Exactly. I personally like to make my Gundams shiny and Lambo showroom clean. That's fine. Is that accurate though? So what's interesting, and I'll leave it with this, guys. So we can certainly continue this conversation at some point because this to me is a very important conversation, but it's a long one, and given that it's now after 7:00, so the sci-fi rules for IPMS nationals indicate that it should be kind of thought of or a space in science fiction, like real space. The thought is that, well, some of this stuff might be not, you can kind of use your judgment a little bit as long as you don't paint, like you don't paint a space shuttle black. And they actually use that as an example. And my first thought was, what if I wanted to paint it black? What if I wanted to make it some kind of, sci-fi kind of thing or some, it's like Moonraker type of thing, it's kind of taken by some organization and used for nefarious purposes. Why can't I? Why do I have to sit there and justify why it's not the stock colors? But they then talk about you have artistic freedom to some degree, but you really don't want to deviate too far. Then it's like, well, you can't have it both ways. It is not accurate at all, but it is my way. And that's the way it should be. These are your models. This is why, I think in so many different ways, Shell's halfway there already. It is. But if you do the other half, red flag. It's fucking stupid. Anyway. All right, guys. So real quickly, and I got to get bailing here. So just the bottom part of this hull, and we're going to continue on to the top part. As long as, I don't want to assemble anything on this model that's going to interfere with the wheels because I'm not going to work on the wheels now. But looking at everything right now, The assembly of this model so far from the box section has been absolutely fabulous. And there's some complexities that are going to be going on with this thing because you've got this sort of very bizarre turret and parts of it that kind of stick up that I think are also pre-assembled. Sorry, I'm a little dyslexic. There we go. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. But I will say so far, of these two, this has been much, much more enjoyable because at least I feel like the alignment is there. Now, am I going to finish this at some point, the T-34? Absolutely. I enjoy the aesthetic of it, and I will get it done. It's just that it's not as fun. Let's see. There's Space Notes. Have a great day. Joe, you too, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, you're right. Exactly. I encourage everyone to make it fun for them. Tony, couldn't agree with you more. This one have PE and resin parts. No, it does not. Can you get some? I'm sure. But it does. Does it include PE? I don't think it included photo etch. No, clear parts, but no photo etch. Water slides, yes. No turn barrels or anything like that. But that's sort of I think the strength of this model is that you don't need to add all of that complexity and still get really, really good detail. An hour passed so fast. It doesn't take much, does it? It's actually, oh my God, it has been almost an hour. I am running a little later than expected. Normally I don't run past 7 much, but it is what it is. All right, my friends. First of all, happy hump day to everybody. Have a great day, George and everyone. See you tomorrow. Tony, you too, brother. Thanks for being here this morning. Guys, go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you can. As I said earlier, we're in a dangerous place right now, but it's up to all of us to try to make it less dangerous. And by that, I mean, at least treat people with respect at the local level. Do good by people. Help people out. Treat people with dignity and respect. Don't vilify. Treat people like shit, please. All right. So do good. Enjoy the day, guys. Love you all. See you later, guys. Enjoy the day, guys. And I will catch you on the flip. Dwayne, you'll probably be hearing from me in a text sometime through the day. Anyway, guys, love you all. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.